Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be doing grade 8 geometry exam related questions based on solving geometric problems. Okay, let's have a look at question number 1 there. You can pause the video right now and you can try and attempt that question. Now, if you have already attempted that question, we're going to try and solve for x over here. Now, we can see that x is this angle over there, which is 2x. We need to identify what type of shape or how this y or this 44 is relating to this 2x over here. Okay, but first, when we are solving geometric problems, you solve what you see. Okay, so you can see that 44 is equal to y over there because those two angles are vertically opposite. Okay, so on our road to solve for x, we may need to solve for other angles first. Over there, we have y equals to 44 degrees. Okay, and your reasoning there can be vertically opposite angles are equal. Okay, and then once you are done, you can go ahead and replace this y with 44 degrees. And now, just for 1 second, you can go ahead and see that this angle 2x over here and that angle 44 over there has some sort of relationship with the letter F. If you can see the F facing upwards, you can see that if you are going across the dotted lines over here, these two lines make the angle 2x, and as you go to this angle, okay, you follow the lines that make the other angle. You can see that the red lines over there, okay, that makes the letter F. Okay, and we can see that those angles there are now equal. Okay, so now we can say that 2x is equal to 44 degrees, and we know that the letter F is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are equal. Okay, and from these reasons there, we have an equation. So that's 2x is equal to 44, and we have to solve for x within that equation. So we have 2x equals to 44 degrees, and then to solve for x, we're going to divide by 2 on both sides. X is equal to 22 degrees. Okay, welcome to question 2. Okay, if you haven't already tried it, I'm going to give you 1 second here to pause the video and attempt that question. Okay, so question number 2 says calculate x, y, and z. Let's start off with x. So if we look at this diagram over here, we can see that the angle x is over here. Okay, and if we look at that, right, let's look at the lines that create this angle x. Okay, so it's this line over here, right, and that line over there. Okay, now we need to go ahead and you can track these dotted lines to an angle that you do know, and that angle is 42 over there, and you can see that that green dotted lines makes the letter Z. Okay, over there, right, and you can see that that angle x and that angle 42, you can see that letter Z there, that is above, in between the arms, and that angle is in between the arms over there. So because of that, you may now say that x is equal to 42 degrees, and for the angles forming the letter Z, the reasoning is alternating angles are equal. Okay, and if we look at the letter Z, this letter over here, not the angle, oh, the angle Z, yes, okay, we can see that the lines that form this angle are this line, and it's this line over there, okay, and if we can follow this line all the way to an angle that we know, which is 65, we can see that it's forming a Z as well. So then that angle is equal to that angle over there. So then Z is equal to 65 degrees, and your reason is alternating angles are equal again. Okay, I'm just using that as the lines there to indicate that this reason and that reason is the same. Okay, so now that we know that Z is 65 degrees and X is 42 degrees, there are a few ways, in fact two, to find this letter Y. Okay, firstly, you can see that this is a straight line, so Y plus 42, those are two angles on a straight line. So you may add Y plus 42 and equal that to 180. Okay, and you may do your answer like that as well. Okay, so these are two angles in a straight line. Okay, option number one is Y plus 42 degrees equals to 180, and you're going to say sum of angles on a straight line is equal to 180 degrees, and we're going to do the inverse of 42 on the other side. Y is equal to 138 degrees. Let's have a look at option 2. Option 2, again, if we create, right, let's use a different color. Let's use the color red. If we can create this angle using these lines to a known angle, those are the two lines creating the angle, to a known angle over here, 42, we can see that that now creates a letter, and that is the letter U facing in that direction. So that is co-interior angle. So in option 2, I'm going to write it in red. Y plus 42 equals to 180 degrees, and your reason is co-interior angles are supplementary. Okay, and then this equation and that equation is the same. You should know that Y is then equal to 138 degrees. Okay, as you know, there are sometimes more than one way to solve these angles over here. Okay, so keep that in mind whenever someone is doing an answer. Okay, let's have a look at question 3 over here. Right, and we have B, which is an angle within a triangle over there, and there are two angles that we know. So as soon as you have one unknown in a triangle and you have two knowns, the first thing you do, you can use the property of a triangle, which states that all the angles within a triangle, the sum thereof is equal to 180. Okay, so you're going to solve for B first. The order does not matter. If you see you can solve something in non-alphabetical order, you are allowed to do that. Okay, so we have 39 degrees plus 39 degrees plus b is equal to 180 degrees, and always write your reason. That is worth 1 mark. Okay, the sum of angles in a triangle equal 180 degrees. You are also allowed to use symbols in your reasoning as well. Okay, that's the symbol for angles, triangle, and the equal sign. Then to solve for b, we have b equals to 180 degrees minus 39 degrees minus 39 degrees. Okay, that's your equation from the. Okay, and then b is equal to 102 degrees. All right, then for a, I've left some information out here which is critical to finding a, is that the lines are parallel. Okay, and before you can use corresponding, co-interior, and alternating angle properties, those lines need to be parallel. Okay, so if you look at the lines that make the angle A, the two lines that make this angle A over here is this line and this line, and that's the arm. And you can see that if you continue going on this line and make a known angle that you know, you have now created the letter F facing upwards, with the angles being below the arms of the F. Okay, and we can say that A is equal to 39 degrees, right? And that reason is corresponding angles are equal. All right, that's that letter F right there, that arm, and this arm over here. Okay, it does take some time to recognize these shapes within a shape. So the more you practice, the more you'll be able to quickly recognize these shapes within the shape. Okay. Okay. This is quite an easy one before we move on to a bit more of a trickier one. Question 4. Okay. And if you look at those two angles over there, it almost looks like they are in two corners. Okay. And if you look at the lines that make this angle, is this line and this line over here. Okay, so when we are trying to solve for x in this instance, okay, this angle has x in it and that angle has x in it. If we can try to create a equation from that, we can also solve for x, even though there are two unknown letters or unknown values. So long as they are the same variable, we can create an equation. That is forming the letter U, so we know it is co-interior. So we have 3x minus 10, that's this angle over here, plus this angle, x plus 30, equals to 180 degrees. And our reason is co-interior angles, I could have used the symbol there, are supplementary. Just a quick note, the word supplementary means that the angles are equal to 180, okay? And complementary is 90 degrees. So we have now an equation from this, and remember, that is simply an equation. So we're going to take the 3x minus 10 plus x plus 30 degrees equals to 180 degrees as an equation. We're going to keep our variables, our like terms, on the left side, and we're going to take the inverse plus 10 minus 30 That gives us 4x is equal to 160 degrees, and we divide by 4, x is equal to 40 degrees. Okay, let's have a look at question 5 over here, okay? And this is saying calculate the size of n, which is this angle over here. But we can see that that angle is equal to 2x minus 30. So you do not know the value of the angle, but you can see that if you knew what x was, you can then solve for that angle. And if you look within the triangle over there, there are 3 angles. They all have the same variable. Now, as per the previous question, when they all have the same variable, you may create an equation from the properties of, for example, over here is a triangle. Previously, we created an equation from co-interior angles. Okay, what do we know about angles within a triangle? The first thing that pops in your mind should be all of these angles, if they add up, they're equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so if I have 2x minus 50 plus 2x minus 30, which is that angle, plus x plus 10, which is this angle, and they add up to 180. Again, please don't lose a mark for your reasoning. Sum of angles in a triangle equals to 180 degrees. From this, we have an equation. So we can rewrite that equation again. 2x minus 50 degrees plus 2x minus 30 degrees plus x plus 10 degrees equals to 180 degrees. Again, we're going to keep our x's to the left side. Okay, and we're going to take all the values, all the numbers to the right side by writing the inverses on that side of the equation. So we have 2x plus 2x plus x, okay, all the x's, then minus 50 on that side, which is 180. Now it becomes a plus 50, a minus 30 becomes a plus 30, a plus 10 becomes a minus 10. This gives us 5x is equal to, okay, right, this is 210 minus 10 is 250 degrees. Okay, x is equal to 50 degrees after we divide by 5 on both sides. Okay, now that we know x, we know that the angle n is equal to 2x minus 30 degrees. And from previous algebraic expressions and equations, we substitute what we know into x, always within brackets. So n is equal to 2 times 50 minus 30. A number outside of the bracket we multiply. So n is equal to 100 minus 30. N is equal to 70 degrees. Okay, always take what you apply, always take what you know and apply it. Okay, thank you for watching.